Welcome to Move and Meditate. In this series, we explore ideas, we meditate together, and we stretch and do qigong, setting a strong foundation for us to have energy in our lives, to enjoy life and contribute our gifts to the world. So today's idea, before we jump into our meditation, comes from Thomas Merton, and I was listening to one of his audiobooks. You may know Thomas Merton. He's kind of one of the great Christian mystics of the 20th century, and actually he translated or interpreted a lot of Daoist texts because he kind of saw the parallels between his exploration as a Christian mystic and the explorations that the Taoists had in faraway ancient China. And yeah, today's topic is how we can stay mindful throughout the day. And this quote really struck me: the mind rests through change. The mind rests through change. And this got me thinking a lot. So, we know this to be true in our lives. Like, say you're driving all day, you're sitting down doing nothing, and yet you get home and you're exhausted. What's that about? You've just sat down for many hours. Or, for an evening, just lying down and, you lie down straight after work, and, that's cool because, sometimes we're burnt out after work and we need to rest. But if we don't move and just stay kind of in that vegetative state, then we feel like a vegetable, and so we lose some of our energy. But also, say meditation, like say if you're to meditate for 8 hours a day, and maybe some monks and Zen monasteries do that and they feel good about that. But that can also kind of be, maybe too much of a good thing. Many different aspects of our lives. So the mind rest through change is quite a powerful idea. And something that I've talked about on the channel before is this rhythm, this kind of oscillation between doing and not doing. So, is the rest that you think is rest, is that really rest? So to give a kind of a tangible example is, say you're doing some work, you're doing a project, writing a presentation, you're writing an essay, you're working for 45 minutes, say, and then you say, right, I'm going to have a rest, I'm going to check my emails. Now, is checking your emails really a rest? Because actually it's just agitating your mind, it's suddenly filling your brain with a lot more things to do. Is that rest? Probably not. And so something that I do, and some ideas from me of how we can create rhythms of doing and non-doing throughout our day, is the Pomodoro technique. And so that's how I write all my videos, is I set 25-minute timers, and when the 25 minutes is done, I literally get out of my seat and I stretch and I do like 10 press-ups. And you can do whatever you want, you can do squats, but like actually activating the body, like it's actually a fantastic way to get a free workout throughout the day, is to just to fully clear your mind, to come back into the present moment. Just you've been thinking for 25 minutes, rest, relax, let go of that, just come into the body, move the body. And so this could be dancing, it could be doing some press-ups, could be doing some squats, could be cleaning the dishes, but anything that's just using your body, moving with your body. And you'll find that when the break session is over, you come back into your focus and you find it's much easier to focus over a longer period because you've actually switched off the mind rather than just answering emails or continuing to agitate it. And so it's that oscillation. Work, rest, work, rest. So, can you do press-ups in the office? If you've got a cool work group, then that would be awesome. And you can just explain what you're doing. Maybe squats are a bit more reasonable. Like I sometimes work in co-working spaces, and I can do squats in a co-working space. People get used to it. So, some ideas for you to play with. And other ways that I bring this rhythm of doing the things that I want to do and my work, and then resting so that I can actually focus with better intensity and not feel drained at the end of the day, is then having kind of macro oscillations. So we've talked about this kind of 25 minutes and working in intervals. I then also try and bring in more bigger breaks. So I work in the morning and then I have lunch, and then I try and go and do some exercise after that. So, some people that I meet in the park when I go out and maybe do some stretching, is they take a 2-hour lunch break. And so they ask their employer, like, is it okay if I'm out for 2 hours? They have lunch and they exercise. because often that kind of afternoon period is not the best for productivity anyway. It's a good procrastination time. So getting out and using your body and resting the mind, and as we know from Thomas Merton, this great mystic, the mind rests through change. So you get into your body, you exercise in the early afternoon, and then when you come back, you can actually work and focus more easily. So some ideas from me of creating a rhythm of doing and not doing. And so, something for you to think about for this week. And let me know in the chat next week, if you came up with any ideas, and you can contribute to the other people who are on this Move and Meditate journey with us. So a fantastic rest is meditation. So if we're agitating the mind, or just living our lives and doing the things that we need to do, switching off the mind, or at least calming it down, at least coming to the breath, and at least slowing down, is actually a really powerful rest. And so that meditation practice, the meditation practice that we're going to do now is 10 minutes, kind of a formal seated practice. But thinking about the principles that we are learning together in our 10 minutes, can you actually bring them into your everyday rests? So a meditation that I do throughout the day is just taking a breath. In and out through the nose, can be a slow, mindful breath. If you watch the 3 principles of powerful breathing, you know about the 4-7-8 breathing. Breathing in for 4, holding for 7, releasing for 8. And that's a really powerful practice to use throughout the day. If you're kind of agitated and you want a proper rest, is doing your breath work and realizing that meditation isn't just this formal practice where we're crossing our legs and sitting and doing a formal practice, but in fact meditation is life. And Master Gu likes to say, meditation is being here right now. Meditation is life. And so meditation doesn't have to be this abstract practice that we only reserve for certain times throughout the day. If we are present in what we're doing, we're washing the dishes. And if we're there in the room washing the dishes rather than in our heads thinking, we're meditating. If we're sweeping the floor, we are meditating, if we are present with it. If we're swimming, feeling the water passing and rippling past our skin. If we're out walking in nature, then feeling the wind on our head, feeling the sun energizing our skin. It's this subtle richness of all the different stimuli that are being offered to us, but because we're stuck in our heads the whole time, that we're not sensitive. And so we may miss these wonderful bits of richness that are available in everyday life, but we just fail to notice them. So this meditation practice that we're doing is really powerful because it's not just a practice for here and now, but instead it's beginning to understand the principles that we can bring into our everyday life. Let's jump into our meditation, and a sense of bringing mindfulness and this kind of time of presence that we have together, and realizing that this basic practice is available to us throughout the day, and to kind of contemplate integrating this practice into everyday life. So as always, it's a privilege to be with you and to meditate together. And let us begin. So I invite you to close your eyes and begin to arrive into your space. And taking breaths in and out through the nose, just paying attention to how you're breathing right now, not needing to change anything. And then slowly intend your breath to slow down, slowing the inhale and slowing the exhale. And let us try our 4-7-8 breathing together. So we breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, hold, and release. Breathe in, hold, and release. So why don't you try 3 more of these, and in the silence just be present with this slow mindful breathing, and just noticing it may be a slowing down of any agitation or stress that you may have been holding with you before coming to this session. So slowing the breath down is this powerful tool that can help us down-regulate, tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, this rest and digest nervous system. If we consciously slow down the breath, we can begin to unwind and relax. And we can give ourselves permission, any planning or thinking, to just let that sit. We can come to it after this meditation practice, and we have this precious time to be here. And so that is the mantra we've been using over the past weeks. Be here. If you have a thought, if you catch yourself thinking, that's cool, that's what your brain is supposed to do. But this practice of meditation is returning. So you thank the breath, say be here, and return back to presence. Your attention can be on the breath, the mindful inhale and exhale through the nose. Be here. If you find yourself drifting, gently return back to presence. Say, be here. Let go of the thought and come back to the breath. If you find yourself drifting, there's nowhere else to be but be here. Let it go. Come back. Relax in the present. we can begin to come back into our space and just take some time with our eyes closed just to reflect on that process. Being present with the breath, how it felt, whether you returned, if you didn't. Everything is valid, no judgment. That's where you are today. To accept that and to celebrate yourself. And to be present with the experience of returning. What was it feeling like to notice a thought, notice that you'd lost it, lost your presence, but then to come back? What was that experience like? And again, to celebrate yourself for taking the time to do these practices. You're curious about yourself and you're learning about how you work and doing these practices that have been proven over millennia to help with our mental, physical and spiritual health. So to celebrate the journey that you're on. And in time, you can open your eyes, begin to bring some movement into your body, some wrist rolls, some shoulder rolls, shoulder rolls the other way. And then some seated twists, just swinging your arms back and forth. Beginning to wake that spine up. And then a semicircle, if you imagine a pen on your chin, you're just doing a big semicircle, stretching out the spine and the hip flexors. And then if we reach behind us and look behind us and then lift your hips. So you've got a nice stretch and just hold here. And lower your hips, and one more. You can change your hand positions if you want to. Lean back and lift the hips. You can rock back and forwards if that feels comfortable. And lower the hips. Back to seating. So it's always nice to just, warm the body up before standing up, and just bringing some movement after being in quite a static position. So the returning is that key theme, and that is that superpower to have these thoughts. Our brains are designed to think. Meditation is not about never thinking, but if we have an anxious thought or we know that we're ruminating in a spiral that we don't like, to be able to return and realize that it's okay to have that thought, but to return back to present and just to let it go. We don't need to latch on all the thoughts we have into the story of who we are, like I'm messed up for having these thoughts. We saw last week, Zhuangzi says they're like mushrooms. They just pop out the ground. Nobody knows where they come from. So it's a natural part of the human experience to have thoughts that we don't like. Nothing to fight. But we can return and let them go. Come back to presence. That's that superpower that we're developing. So I hope you enjoyed. Always a privilege to be with you meditating. So let us bring some movement now into our bodies. So I invite you to stand up. And we're going to do some stretches and some qigong. Alrighty, let's go for it. So let's start off with some ankle rolls and some wrist rolls. Change direction. Change foot. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Remembering those 3 principles of powerful breathing: slow, deep, and through the nose. Change direction. All right, and then just shaking everything out. And this is our silly move. We have permission to be silly. We can be sincere without being serious. And so, yeah, we have this time together where we can just look a bit weird, and that's okay. Let's celebrate it and enjoy it. Woohoo! All right, and then some arm twists. So we're keeping the waist facing forward, and then we're just allowing our arms just to be floppy, and they lightly tap our back or shoulder as we twist. All right, and if we lift those arms a bit higher, so they're swinging a bit higher. All right, lovely. And interlace the fingers, stretch up, and turn to one side, and look to the sky, and outstretch the arms, and interlace the fingers. Reach up, stretch, twist, look to the sky, and release, outstretch the arms. Hold the arms here, outstretched, fingers to the sky, hold it, and release. Hands together, interlace the fingers, stretch to the sky, twist, look to the sky, and release. Hold, fingers to the sky, feel the burn, stretch as far as you can, and relax. One more, interlace the fingers, breathe in, twist, breathe out, look to the sky, breathe in, and release the hands, breathe out. Hold, and hands together. All right, wonderful. Shake it out. I'm going to do a move from Badwan Jin. So get your legs out at a comfortable distance, kind of as wide as you can, in kind of a deep squat position, and hands on your knees. And then what we're going to do is just simply twist and turn. So turning, looking over one shoulder, and then twist and turn, looking over the other shoulder. So if you can try and push yourself to get that bum as low as possible, preferably so that the hips and the thighs are parallel to the ground. And we breathe out on the twist. So breathe out, breathe in, back to center, breathe out, twist the other side. Breathe in, twist the other side. Breathe in, back to center, and twist the other side. Okay, final set of stretches. Let's do a gongbu, or a warrior one in yoga. So your one of your feet out with a bent knee, and then heel on the ground, toes pointing at a 45-degree angle, and then your hips ideally should be parallel, so not off to one side, but they should both be like, two prongs of a tuning fork, parallel to one another. So just breathe into this position. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds. And if you can, over time, just lowering your hips. And that deep mindful breathing through the nose. We don't want to be holding any tension in the breath. The breath is the key to releasing tension in the body. Okay, and we raise the heel. Again, driving the hips forward. And we lower the heel. A hip flexor stretch. So you lean slightly forward. You should be feeling a stretch on the hip that is opposite to the knee that's up. And if you're not, tense your glutes, tense your bum, tense your quad, and then release that tension. And you should feel a slight movement forward, increasing the tension. All right, wonderful. Tuck the toe, back up, and then forward, both feet forward, and then let's turn and do it on the other side. So we've got Gongbu or Warrior 1, we've got our toe 45-degree angle, bend in the front knee, and the hips parallel if possible. Hold it here, mindful breathing through the nose. And lift the heel. Should feel a stretch in the hip flexor. And lower the heel. Top of the foot to the floor. And then drive the hip forward. If you can't feel any stretch, tense the glutes, tense the quads, and then release. You should feel a movement forward and increasing of the stretch. Tuck the toe, lift the heel, back to center. Okay, so hopefully we're warmed up. Just shake that out and let us get into our qigong. So we've been doing the 5-animal qigong. We're on our 5th animal. We're on the bird now, which is a wonderful flowing move. We'll go through the movements and then let's do the whole form together. Okay, so bird 1, we have these kind of wings for arms. So we breathe in, we raise our arms, we raise our foot, breathe out. Raise our wings, raise our foot, breathe out. Breathe in, raise our wings, raise our feet, breathe out. So if you want to mirror me so that we match each other for which foot we raise, and then we can be in time. Lovely flowing moves, right? All right, and then bird 2, we raise the leg as we did before, but now we bring our hands together and outstretch the foot, like so. And we've kind of got our bird wings gliding, and then feet back together. So we lift the foot, raise the arms, and then we lean forward, arms outstretched. So let me do that this way. So raise the arms. I've got quite enough room to stretch out. I'll come forward. Feet together. So we raise the wings and stretch. Feet to the ground. So raise our wings, raise the foot, both down, and then stretch out, legs outstretched. Raise the wings, raise the foot, back down, and stretch forward, wings out, feet to the ground. Raise the wings, raise the foot, back down, and stretch forward. So if you can, as you get this, try and straighten your back leg and toes pointing to the ground. So you should feel a nice burn in the glutes as you do that. And back to center. All right, so that's our birds. We've completed the form, awesome. That's our 5 animals. Let's go through it now and enjoy it. Have all our different animals and remember that, yeah, we are embodying these different energies, metaphorically, but also having fun with it and, yeah, just releasing tension. Qigong, Master Gu likes to say, Taiji Gong, song, 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 Taiji Gong, which means relax, relax, relax. That is Tai Chi practice. Song, 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 Taiji Gong. Relax, relax, relax. This is Tai Chi practice. So in our moves, yeah, just releasing tension, relaxing, and yeah, wherever you are with the moves, that's where you are today. So there's no right or wrong here. There's only invitations to express ourselves with our bodies, move with presence, generating energy. That's what Qigong is about. There's no better or worse. All right, so let's start off our form with our Taiji salute. So fist with the left hand, palm with the right, a bow, hands down to the sides, lower your knees, lower your weight, step out. So this is our Wuji or Qigong standing. So we're upright and relaxed. Upright and relaxed. Okay, Tiger 1. So we have our claws. We reach to the sky and claws pull down. Fist, palm. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tiger 2. Claws, stretch out, straight legs, bend the knees, claws outright, stretch over, back to center. We breathe in Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So again, this is moving meditation, so trying to be present with the body, this experience, and just letting go of any thoughts that may or may not come up. Back to center, stand in our qigong standing just to reset. Mindful breathing through the nose, slow down the heart. Slow down the breath, and that will slow down the system. Dear one, we have our antler hands, we twist and we look over. Back to center, twist and look over. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Back to center. Dear two, antlers to the head, outright stretch. Extend the arms as far as you can. Feet together. Back and stretch. Feet together, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Back to center. Now qigong standing, close your eyes, mindful breathing through the nose. Slow down the breath. Bear one. Collecting our nuts, sticking them in our little pouches. And bear two. Right arm, right hand. And if you can say the rhythm, you can do it. So we'll try it together. Front, back, change. Front, back, change. Front, back, change. Front, back, change. All right, now you've got the rhythm. Have fun with it. You're a bear who's just collected some nuts and now you're joyfully strolling home. And back to center. A few breaths. And as you breathe, release any tension in your forehead, in your jaw. Let it go. In your stomach, let it go. Monkey one, feet together. We grab up onto the toes, back down. Grab up, look to one side, back down. Grab up on the toes, look to one side, back down. And monkey two, preparatory position. We sweep, branch, and grab, celebrate. Swap sides. Prepare, sweep, branch, grab the banana, and celebrate. Prepare, sweep, grab, celebrate. Prepare, sweep, grab, celebrate. And back to center. Connect with the breath. Bird one, wings to the sky, arms lifted, wings and leg back to center. Bird two, wings back down and lean forward, leg out straight, feet together. Wings back down and out straight, back together. Last one. Feet together. In our qigong standing. And now we scoop the energy in. We've just been generating energy through moving our body, being present with the breath. Now we're collecting all that energy, bringing it into our dantian. The ancient Chinese saw as the source of our energy. And now rest our hands just beneath the belly button. Take a few breaths here. down, feet together. A Tai Chi salute, palm with the left, a fist with the left, palm with the right, a bow, and a thank you. So, well done everyone. A round of applause. That is our 5 animal qigong. Next week we'll continue it now that we have the basic flow sorted. And yeah, we'll try and get more mindful and quiet with it and just jump straight into it next week. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll jump onto the chat now. For those of you on the recording, I hope you have a fab day. Think about the mindfulness and how you can integrate it into your life. Something to journal and diary about, those oscillations. Something to think about, a rhythm of doing and not doing. See you next time.